What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Dealer here, back again with yet another RDX podcast as I rub my tiny baby hands together in preparation for a very good show. I can feel it already. We got a phenomenal panel, some great topics. And you know what? There's some podcasts out there, with real Xbox fans out there that don't really play any games. So we figured we would actually give you the impressions of some real Xbox fans that actually play way more games than these other people that are saying this. It's kind of open, and you can look at these gamer tags and gamer cards. They're a hell of a thing. But yeah, I mean, basically, guys, what I'm trying to say is that we've got a great show today. Fonzarelli, thank you so much for joining us. How have you been?
I've been great. I've been playing some Rage 2 today and loving it. Want to get back to it. So let's get this show started so we can get it over with.
Zalker87.
I'm doing good, buddy. Glad to be here, showing my achievements on Rage and everything else. I feel great about it, man. Ain't nothing to hide over here. Hey,
really
man, we play games. Yeah, and
really
by the way, everybody, Rage 2 put out a video about it, review impression. Game is fucking crazy. Check it out.
The
whole impression.
The whole achievements thing is just hilarious because there's people that are a little salty on other different shows, and they're trying to call like people like myself PC guys, and I'm like, motherfucker, I've had more gamer scored in every single month for the past like several years straight than this, other people on other shows. Like, I've got 130,000 gamer score. Give me a fucking break. So what's next? I'm paying people to play my games, right? Colt Eastwood, how are you doing, sir?
Hi, my name's Colt Eastwood, and I prefer to play on the Xbox console, and I've got 90,000 gamers.
Isn't that more than most people that are on these true Xbox fan podcasts, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to throw shade. It is what it is because I play more than I should for a guy who's pretty busy and not supposed to be sitting in the game room going playing. So, that's funny. Somebody was calling me out for being a PC guy first, and the last PC game I bought was Shadow of War on the PC. And then, I don't know. It's been a couple of years. But, yeah, it's funny. But we're going to talk about – everyone's asking about Rage 2 in the chat. It's on the list. I can't wait to talk about it. And my achievements are open as well.
Hey, Tim Dog, how are you doing, sir? It's great to have you on yet another RDX podcast.
I'm very happy to be here, part of the RDX group. You guys, I guess, are PC guys because you have knowledge about things like GPUs and CPUs and – it's
great about smart things. You must be a PC guy.
You know what a teraflop is.
Yeah, well, exactly. But you guys, the proof's in the pudding, and you're not flip flopping all over the place like somebody we know.
Hey, D-Batch. Speaking of flip flopping, how's the Dreads flip flopping today? You doing all right?
Yeah, man, they flip flopping in the wind real good.
Oh man, how you been, brother?
I'm good. I gotta say, I'm gonna defend you here. Behind the scenes, I'm always getting on Dealer to get on his PC and play some damn games, and this guy just tells me, nope, it's only for editing. So I can confirm that Dealer plays 98% of his games on the consoles. And I got a second with Fonz here. Let's get on with the show. I want to get back to Rage 2, so let's go.
Yeah, and that's okay. So I did get everybody. That was quick, man. I've got to give a shout out to some of these absolutely phenomenal patrons as well. Starting with simply known as David, and then we've got Suicide King, we've got Captain Redbeard, we got Lethal Papa, we've got Prime Suspect, we got Michael Bone, we've got Channing Pennington, we've got Caramel Cabillo, we've got Biggie 2316, we've got, as I try to fix my thing that just messed up, we've got also Wilmy Hood and Biggie 2316, and more coming. So thank you guys so much. The first of every single month, that list updates. So keep that in mind. If you just subscribed, check back out of the first and that kind of stuff will upgrade. Same for the links down below. If you haven't checked out the patrons that support the show and the links down below, please give those guys a follow. Check their YouTube channels out. And shout out to Patman, who actually he just did a video today. And we're going to talk about kind of our thoughts on some of that as well. And you'll kind of know when we come to it. But let's start with Xbox Game Pass. According to one source, it has 9.5 million users. Now this is important. It says, you can share Game Pass. So just because a user does not mean it's a subscriber. That's why in my last video, I focused on the PS Now stuff more than anything, because first and foremost, they are pretty much crushing PS Now. But Phil Spencer confirmed millions of subscribers, not users, meaning they're kind of leaving PS Now behind, Tim Dog. What are your thoughts on the trajectory of Game Pass? And did you ever think it would be this popular?
Honestly, I did think it was going to be this popular, but I didn't think it'd be this fast as popular. I thought really its golden age would be when Halo hit, like that would be its defining moment. But no, it's very popular, and I think it's it's directly associated with the big spending that you're seeing on the studio side. I know that you had a couple of videos on it, and there's been numerous reports lately about Turn 10, Undead Labs. Every one of their studios is growing at a pretty big clip, and it's because of one thing, pretty much, or one big factor is Game Pass. So, no, I didn't think it would be this. I thought it was going to be big, but I didn't think it would be this fast. No way.
Yeah. That's one of the main things I pointed out yesterday, Colt, that none of this profitability to me, I'm not getting paid when they get paid, right? So none of that really matters to me, how much money they're making, unless I see that they're kind of investing it in studios, right? Acquisitions, talent, and they're doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're making a ton of money. Your video is freaking awesome. Where you just slap people over the head. Game Pass is good, right?
Dr.
Right in someone's
Photoshop.
face. No, it was great. I mean, I talk to you all the time about this stuff, and your video was like kind of a revelation about how big Game Pass is. And you just nailed it. Like, because Phil said millions at EXO, which is, it's about 6 months ago. And then you've got this leak that says 9.5. And it just makes me believe that Game Pass is probably somewhere around 2 to 3 million subscribers with a bunch of users sharing the account across or sharing the games. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's pretty amazing. It's just good. It's healthy, and they're pumping it back in.
Yeah, Fonz is a big proponent of Game Pass. There were some out there that for some reason when Game Pass was announced, oh no, what about Microsoft's money? Fonz and I were, we've all kind of been on the same page. Why are you worried about Microsoft's money? Look at all these great games you can get for $10 a month, right?
Yep, exactly. Look, it's no surprise that it's doing well. It's a great service. I'm one who's been pushing that service for a while now, and I'm not an Xbox guy, but I know a deal when I see one. And when I see, hundreds of games in for $10 a month, my kids can play them and just have a good time with them. It's a no-brainer. It's even me, for myself, I like it. I played a bunch of games in there that I normally wouldn't have played, and turns out that I like a lot of them. So it's a great deal, man. I don't understand why some people, shit on it. It's awesome. PlayStation should look into something like this because I think it's phenomenal.
Well, we all know it's trash. And by the way, Wilmy Hood, I did, and I got more of that sentence, I promise. Wilmy Hood, I did add you as a moderator, brother. So if it's not showing up, that's kind of odd, but it may kick in here in a second. If I click on you again, it's saying remove you as a moderator. So, I mean, you should have the T1000 powers of Lethal Papa right now.
And I'd just like to add too that, if Game Pass had a bunch of just, if the whole library was just full of crap games, I would not push this service. Okay. But there are some good games within Game Pass, some great games there. So for $10 a month, again, somebody was just like quoting me, no brainer. It is a no brainer when you have great games there to play.
How does the game sharing work within? I'm under the impression that you can share the games, like as long as you install them, your game share partner can play them unlimited. Yeah. But can your game share partner access Game Pass and download stuff?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
I believe you actually share it across, just like you share Xbox Live with them too, if you game share with them. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people bring this up, and I put it up there going, wow, 9.5 million is impressive if this is true. And I've had people go, it's manipulating the numbers because they've been putting it on sale for $1. And I'm like, they're not manipulating, saying that it's the most profitable thing ever. They're literally just saying, hey, this is how many users are being reported. That's what it is. Promotions are great.
It doesn't matter if it was free for 6 months. Like you're still pulling people in, and they're going to pay for it.
I got to piggyback on what you said though, with being able to share it with your game sharing partner, because the only thing that I've run across that you can't game share with is like EA Access. That does not transfer over to your game sharing partner.
I think you can. You just have
it doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah. I've
well,
tried
as a great philosopher once said, his name is Danky Poo. I thought Xbox died in 2013. I mean, what happened? I thought it was all dead. So, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, even if it is 9.5 million users, which if they have millions of subscribers, which Phil Spencer confirmed last year, despite the $1 deal, like every single program has these promotions. And if you're finding that as a negative, you need to think for a second.
I just want to add real quick. well, obviously not everybody's taking advantage of this dollar deal because you got some, repeat subscribers on there. But even so, if say everybody were to get it for that 1 month for $1, that's still over $9 million that they just earned in 1 month. That's no laughing matter. Clearly this service is doing good because you got third-party publishers putting their games in there. So they wouldn't be putting their games in there if there was no incentive for them to do that, if they weren't getting any type of kickback. So I think it's a great service, and people being concerned about Microsoft's money is so stupid. When you go to a store and they have a sale, you don't say, "Oh my God, what's the company thinking about all this sale?" Like, you don't care. You buy it because on sale it's a good deal, and you run on the store. Like,
are you sure you're not like first thing you're not like, "Oh my God, can they afford this?"
McDonald's has 2 Big Macs for $3. You're like, McDonald's, what are you doing to yourself?
Are you crazy?
Now, some people in the chat,
are you guys okay?
some people in the chat have stated that I was incorrect about EA Access. I may be. I just don't know how to do it because I've tried it with my son before, game sharing with him, and he could not access EA Access. So if I'm not doing something right, let me know in the chat how to do so.
Hey, big shout out to So Shady as well in the chat. Thanks for joining us, brother. But yeah, Game Pass it's a force, and it's already doing higher official numbers. That was from Phil Spencer. Millions of subs, not millions of users, subscribers. It's crushing PS Now at this rate. So either way, like, and the only reason I point that out is because people are always hating on this fucking service, even though it's pro consumer as hell. Rent 1 or 2 games for $10 a week, or rent 200 for $10 a month. Do the math, right? So
Yeah,
it's good news.
You forgot about Gears 5 and Halo Infinite coming to it. It's like,
all of that stuff. Yeah,
go watch Dealer's video. I'll just keep saying that over and over.
Wolfenstein 2 just dropped. Like, these aren't crappy games, people. These are actually big
Crackdown,
AAA games.
These are trash. Xbox ain't got no games,
dude. Who wants Gears 5 for $10 a month? Who wants that shit?
Well, to those guys though, they actually make fun of the fact that you can get it for $10 a month. Even though I know for a fact that if most of these guys could get God of War for $10 a month and PS Now, they'd be all over. I think that would be great. That would improve the service.
We spent 2 or 3 weeks solid playing through God of War. Like, wouldn't put it down. And like, if you could just sign up for PS Now for 1 month and just get your fill of God of War for the whole month of April, and then just back out, man, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I agree with you, dealer. If this was on PSN, there's no way these guys would be saying, "Oh my God, it's $10. Oh my God, Sony's taking such an L. No, we can't do this." They just buy the game and play it. Like,
it's just like EA Access. Yeah.
I mean, if you were Sony's servers, maybe you would say that. Fuck, I can't do all this fucking downloading and shit. Hey, TLR9 in the super chat says, "Hello from San Diego. Can't wait for E3. Thanks for the 20, buddy. Do appreciate it." But yeah, it's
put it like this. Okay, it's if you pay for $10 for a whole year, it's $120 if you pay full price. That's 2 games, guys. 2 freaking games. So if 3 games come out that you really like, you've won. You've won there.
Well, I don't even see a lot of people doing that, honestly. Like, I think I'm all subscribed up all the way till next July or next January. Everybody that I know gets that like 6 months for $30 and then just use $60 to get for a year. And everybody I know has that. I'm like, how long do you have Game Pass for? They're like, I don't know, till 2050. I'm like, okay, cool.
I have that too, but I'm saying just like if you pay the $10 per month, I mean, it's not a bad deal.
No, yeah,
and Microsoft has these extra incentives too. Like when you sign on with your Xbox Live, you put in the code and whatnot, they give you like an additional month if you put reoccurring billing on. They have all kinds of perks. It's a great service, man.
Hey, Lethal Father just killed everybody combined in the chat. He said, last year E3 was so amazing because Sony had the best show ever, but this year it's so amazing because it's irrelevant. So, I mean, it blows my mind, man, the double standards. But either way, Game Pass, good stuff. We got already over 650 people watching this live, guys. Hit that like button. It's a little thumb underneath the title there. Finger bang that until it turns blue, and share this where you share things. We do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Also, Turn 10 hiring big talent. I don't know if you guys heard this. It kind of went under the radar, but Turn 10, the Forza Motorsport studio, hired Red Dead Redemption talent, Grand Theft Auto 5 talent, Star Wars Battlefront 2 talent, and Madden talent, and that is for their art team. So they are boosting their art team over there at Turn 10, and this is going to be the biggest Forza Motorsport of all time, and that needs to mean Club Garages come back, and that needs to mean that we have brand new upgrades for our cars, and that needs to mean that we have debris and tracks that don't have the same set of bushes. Same set of doves in the damn bushes every lap to fly out. Like, give me a little bit of dynamic shit here, right?
I hear
Dynamic
Red Dead developer was hired here for the art team, and I'm wondering, is Horses making its way to this?
Yes.
They're gonna have horse racing in Forza Motorsport finally.
Fantastic! I'll be there.
I got 1 horsepower this race. Yeah, I think Forza Motorsport, they're going big on this next one.
You load up Forza Motorsport 8, it's like, there's always one more damn score.
I've got a plan.
Yeah, and then he just coughs until he dies, right?
Hey, spoilers.
So hey, no, not spoilers.
Dies to a fucking sneeze.
Oh my god. Okay. I want to get into Rage 2 impressions real quick. And this is for the chat. Let us know if you played it. I just want to drop kick anybody that gave this game a 6. I do not understand it. I posted about this on my Twitter. If you saw my clip, Mike Ybarra commented on it. He said, yeah, I'm having a really good time playing this as well. Rage 2 is a damn blast. Let me say this first. 60 FPS is absolutely locked so far on the X. From my experience, I don't know. People are apparently, Ponzo saying they're saying it runs like trash, but I'm surprised even now how well it runs, right, Fonz?
Yeah. Look, I'm seeing people post about, the game on X doesn't run so smooth. I haven't checked into these people's timelines because I really don't care what they have to say, but I'm sure they're probably ponies at the end of the day. But look, I've been playing it now for a few hours. I've not ran into any frame rate dips, anything crazy at all.
I mean, it is like locked. It's like locked so far, right?
It's smooth. Now, it's not going to win any awards in the graphics department, but who cares? It's 60 frames per second. This is what I've been saying for years now. Give me performance over graphics any day of the week. It performs beautifully. It's buttery smooth, and I'm having a blast with this game. Think Doom 2016 and Mad Max combined with the vehicle combat. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Gamebred said he absolutely loves the game as well. 60 FPS is amazing. Yes, Zachary, I'll come to you in a second, but I just can't stress this enough, how impressive this is that id Software and Avalanche Studios comes in and just drop kicks everybody that can barely get their games to run 30 FPS on console. They do it on an open world title that, in my opinion, still actually looks really damn good.
Yeah.
That's your cue, Soccer.
Oh, yeah. I think, to be honest with you, I feel like I've been a little, I don't know, like damaged from Days Gone riding the motorcycle. Every time I rode that motorcycle, the frames would drop and it was like watching a fucking slideshow. I was like really annoyed. I don't care. I don't care.
Andre's gone here.
So,
Any chance you get.
Every chance I get, I will take a dump on its lawn. So I sit there. I'm joking. Come on. I'm just saying.
I'm joking, but yeah, it's a piece of shit. No, I really like it.
Every time I played Rage 2 and I was getting in like combat, like with the cars and the like convoys and all that, it was crazy because it just ran so smooth. Everything, I never felt like I was like, oh, this is a hitch. No, I was like throwing cars off of cliffs. They were blowing up in front of me. There was dudes shooting at me, throwing axes at my car. It was freaking awesome. It was like Mad Max the movie. I just like, holy fuck, this is great. This is so fun. And it never hitched. I haven't had one hitch. And I think it's been like 8 to 10 hours I played. Like I was playing all night last night and then I played this morning. The game's just freaking, it's legit, man.
Yeah. And another thing, the load times are damn quick. 8-second fast travel time from across the map. That's really impressive, and that's like on the internal hard drive of the X. I haven't even put it on the SSD yet. So, Colt, you've got a little bit of experience. I don't think Tim's played this yet. D, if you played it, you can kind of jump in on this as well, real quick. But we don't want to sit on this all day. We got a ton of great topics. But Colt, go ahead and give us your real quick take.
Yeah, it's not super beautiful, but it runs solid. What the shortest thing I can say is it just feels satisfying, even in the open world and exploring. The gunplay is super satisfying. You shoot what you want to shoot and how you want to shoot it. It's fast. It's just good. Like don't wait on this game. It's really, really cool.
And the sound, man. The sound, and especially when you can use your abilities. Like the abilities aren't like, oh, let me just take a second. No, you can use them concisely one after the other as you're shooting at the same time. It's very quick and it's just fun. It's just crazy how many, and it actually impresses me how many enemies are on screen.
Now, this game is sitting at a 70, 72 or whatever it's going to settle on Metacritic.
Which is a damn crime.
Yeah, and I'm just starting to think that like these 70 rated games, like these reviewers that review so many games all year long on a tight schedule and deadline and all the stressful environment they go through professionally, I really think sometimes they just forget how much fun a game is or what fun is. Because Rage 2 was fun. I mean, Crackdown was really fun. That game.
I'm sure GameSpot put their Guilty Gear only reviewer on the damn game or something like. Like I always say, like try to give the game to somebody who's probably a fan of the game. Like if I'm not a sports game fan, right? I'm never going to buy the damn sports game. So let the sports game fan review the sports game for fans of sports games. Same for racing. Don't listen to some slow fraud that doesn't know what an Apex is about a Forza Motorsport review, right? You come to someone like me, a fast fraud that knows what an Apex is, right? So, I mean, Colt, you think it's a good game. D-Batch, if you played it much, you played it on PC though, right?
Yeah. I actually got a little bit early yesterday, so I've been playing it from like yesterday. And I don't know what console you guys are playing on. You must be playing on the PlayStation 4 if you think it looks horrible, because I think the game looks fantastic. I like the use of depth of field and is amazing. The colors are good.
Yes.
I think it's a good looking game, and it's very demanding on the PC at 4K. Like not even a 2080 Ti is maintaining 60 frames per second, so it makes a lot of sense why it's 1080p 60.
And that's a $1,200 graphics card. People.
Yeah, but I have seen it running on the X, and I gotta say it is silky smooth. It's a very solid 60 frames per second. The game's a lot of fun. It's pretty versatile, and it's crazy. Like there's times you're running out of bullets. There's a lot of enemies on there. You got to circle back. You're running for your life, and it's not a walk in the park. There is some challenge to it. It's a good fucking game, and that 70 rating is atrocious, just like the Days of Gone rating. I don't know.
Damn, Days of Gone rating. Fuck.
Days of our lives.
This game and Days Gone both very underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Dealer. These guys, I don't think they love video games anymore, because how could they be so far off in their reviews?
I don't know.
It's the fun factor is not. I mean, fun shouldn't play a major part in how you feel about a game and how you score it, but it's all subjective. But like, I'm enjoying the game playing organically. Like I know Zocker and Dealer and I kind of do the same thing. You go clear out an area and you look at the map and there's a question mark. You kind of drive over there, you kill stuff on the way, and it just feels right.
Without getting in political or anything, I'll just say that there's a change within journalism and as a whole, and we're seeing that with gaming big time. And if you just look at the past, recent games that have come out and the review scores, there's a lot of things that are just being brought up that are just stupid within these reviews. And
did they try that with Rage 2 as well?
I'm not sure if that was political, but there's just a shift here where it seems like fun factor is not really added into their scores.
Like if you do have a reviewer who uses like a scoring system like column, graphics, story, fun factor should always be there because Rage 2 has it. I'll sum it up with like this: Mad Max, like I said in my tweet earlier. You're driving around, you're going wherever you want. You get out of the location, you want to clear it, you want to find some loot. You get out of your car. And then instantly you're into some of the best first-person shooter controls there are. It's really weird. It's a weird combination you do not see. It's kind of special.
Yeah. It's not a game where you need a mind-blowing story to actually get into it. It has nothing like the story itself is very cliche, very just bland, just whatever. But
that's Fonzo. He has the speakers off and shit when he plays games. So
no. I love story-driven games, and this story here is just very blah. But at the end of the day, it's not about the story here. It's about the fun factor. It's about just blowing stuff up, shooting enemies and just killing things and just destroying them, and it's awesome. It's awesome in that respect.
I have one critique with the game though, and it's just one, and I don't like how they don't have HDR implemented. I think HDR would have been freaking perfect for this game. The explosions look amazing and they're really cool, and they have good sound effect to it, and it feels like a real explosion. And not to mention there's pink everywhere, different colors, grenades being thrown at you. Everything is really cool, and your abilities too. I think HDR would have been awesome.
My thought process on that is I think they didn't implement HDR because I think the frame rates might have taken a hit. I really think that might have been
actually I was noticing the chromatic aberration mixed with the bucket depth of field was able to bring tessellations down to a manageable level during the
I was watching, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was reviewing the game and he's like, "Oh, the HDR implementation isn't too good in this game." And I was expecting HDR. I thought something was wrong with my TV. I'm like, what the hell? Where's the HDR?
It does have 3 settings. It has like day, vivid, and night or something, but I don't know if they look much different.
Does it?
Yeah, it does in the video settings.
Huh. Well, in either case, Robert Cummings says, keep up the hard work. Thank you so much, Robert Cummings. We do.
There's a
appreciate
super
it.
chat back here from Underachiever. I got to
Yeah,
scroll
I'm
way
trying
up.
to get to it, but
Holy
Euphrasia
smokes.
kept talking Rage 2. I'm trying to move along here.
Did you guys get your fill of the Rage 2 talk?
Go ahead and read Underachievers, and I'll move to the next one.
I'm like going way up here. It's like way up here at the 42nd floor. Hold on. Holy smokes. Oh, no, I can't see it.
It's gone.
Bro, no!
He said something. Underachiever sent a super chat, and he said that he's playing it right now. It runs totally smooth, and it's super fun.
No, actually,
pretty
he
cool
said that, but it looks like a last gen
Yes.
game to him.
I
said
just
it
don't
reminds him
agree.
of a
I
last
just
gen
do not
remaster.
agree with that. I cannot complain
Not
about
at
the
all.
visuals when it runs as
Okay.
smooth as it does.
I agree. I agree to a certain point. It doesn't look like a last gen game, but visually, it is not a stunner. The textures on a lot of the walls and stuff are not great.
Some stuff is really bland, but then some other stuff is way over the top, like just super shiny and like got all these effects. So,
Well, hey, I got to give
yeah,
a shout out
it's
to
great.
Rumple Foreskin in Super Chat. Once again, wouldn't be a weekly RDX without Rumple Foreskin in there. We've also got Sacred Justice 5. Thank you so much in the Super Chat as well. And then actually I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Hey, Tim Dog, Netflix are gonna have an E3 panel. What do you think they're up to over here?
I have no idea. Maybe they're going to get into streaming gaming. I saw that report, and I have no idea. I don't have any kind of inkling what they're doing. Maybe streaming or something like that for gaming. Maybe there'll be you could watch, esports or something like that. I don't. Other than that, I have no idea. Strange to me, honestly.
It is. It is strange. D-Batch, do you kind of maybe think, what direction they're going here? Netflix at E3?
You know what? I think I have to agree with the team here. I think they're probably going to go the streaming route.
Think they're bringing Halo 6, huh?
We know Amazon is doing it. They haven't really came out and publicly said it, but I think streaming is going to be a big thing come next gen. I think all these companies are fighting themselves to get a piece of the pie, and I think they're going to jump in.
Yeah. There's not much information there at all on Netflix at E3, but it is interesting. To my knowledge, it's the first time they've attended the event. Could be wrong, but
and also too, this E3 it's really weird because we also have AMD. I don't know if it's on the list of topics, sorry, but we also have AMD showing up there, and they said they're going to announce something really huge for the gaming, for PC gaming and just gaming in general going forward. So like, what the hell are they going to announce there? Because Computex is at the end of the month. They're expected to announce their Navi and Zen 2. So what's going on?
So many companies going to E3, man. It's almost like it's not irrelevant.
That's
crazy.
what Tim said. Tim, tell them what you said on Twitter today about that.
About what, the floor space?
About AMD.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the thing. Yeah, I wrote how irrelevant AMD is coming, how relevant E3 is to some. But even further on, thinking later, I put up a tweet about the floor space. Do you guys remember the big deal that was made over the floor space that Sony had over Xbox?
you mean the fake floor space and the next year when it wasn't even true, right?
Right, and how big of a deal it was made, and like, oh, they're gonna crush Xbox. Look at this. There's over
Didn't
100,
Xbox like literally
120 feet.
They moved everything to the Microsoft Theater that year, right? And everyone that said that looked like an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, they
20
moved
square
the
feet,
and they had the mixer booth at the other thing. So they totally switched it up. But so nobody knew what they were talking about. But now it's all irrelevant. So I guess we're back to that now. So
How long ago was this floor space shit? Like, what the fuck?
last year, yeah,
Oh, man.
What's the floor
has-
space count now?
0.
Zero.
Fucking goose egg.
Oh, wait, how much floor space is State of Play in June?
But you know what?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
It's all about multi-plats, guys. Come on, it's all about the multi-plats. They'll have games there that are multi-plat. They'll be on the PS4 as well. So
Hey, the indie gamer, I'm doing pretty good, buddy. Shout out to Obi-Wan FTW as well, and the rest of the guys in the chat. Speaking of State of Play, Colt, we happened to watch that trash, and boy, was it bad.
I disagree.
It was fucking terrible. It was trash. I mean, anybody think it was good? I mean,
Me.
I actually put up a poll on Twitter.
Fonz had the TV off when he watched it again. Fuck.
I put up a poll on Twitter, and initially the poll was winning. People were saying that it was a great show, which is just a bunch of frauds. Like, in all honesty, I don't know how people can complain about Inside Xbox, yet they see nothing wrong with.
Oh my god.
Nothing wrong with the Sony show. It makes no sense.
Okay, there's two different things. Here's the thing: you've got an Xbox show that's like an hour long and some change here.
Sometimes longer, yeah.
Sometimes much longer, and a lot of talk, a lot of filler crap that you don't want to see. And at least State of Play was quick, and it just showed games, and that's it. Now, some of these games that they showed, I didn't care for, but there was a couple I did like. I was interested in, and especially when they showed the gameplay for. I'm a Final Fantasy VII fan, so for me that made the show. I thought it was solid in that respect, but do I think it was a great show all around? No, I think it was just good. 10 minutes, fine, in and out.
I would say Inside Xbox is more significant though. Like they'll actually have they'll go to Europe and have the McLaren Senate on their fucking show and like regarding their new game. Like we just haven't seen enough of State of Play to kind of get that vibe from.
Well, it makes sense for fans.
State of Play that hybrid raccoon game, whatever the raccoon thing, that looked pretty cool. But that was
flying squirrel.
Once I saw the flying fucking raccoon, I just was like, "What the hell am I watching?" And I fast forward, and then I get it for Fonz because he likes Final Fantasy, but I can give two shits about Final Fantasy. So that whole show was honestly a waste of time. It doesn't matter if it was an hour or 10 minutes, still trash. And
almost took that little clip of that little squirrel flying through the trees and shit. Chasing animals and shit and being like Sony fans looking for good games at State of Play.
I thought that looked interesting, that game with that flying squirrel. I thought it looked interesting.
Got to dodge fucking hawks and eagles and shit.
Have a problem with that.
I actually liked it for real.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple people who want to be. They're animals. All right, we got some animals on the panel.
We got the furries.
Hey, Mr. Buster Palmer says, "What's your take on VR for next gen?" Still, okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, VR, Microsoft are kind of waiting for that to be proven. The systems are definitely capable. The Pro's capable. The X is already capable. They just haven't decided to waste resources on it right now. It's a very small audience. Also, do you believe they will remaster KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic? They need to remaster not only KOTOR, but updated systems. They need to remaster all, Mass Effect 1 and 2 at least. They need to remaster all the Dead Spaces. There's a ton of games that I would actually love to have back. At 60 FPS on the new consoles.
Dead Space,
I would love it.
Sure.
Yeah, Dead Space is great.
And you frauds in the chat, man. Everybody's hating on State of Play. Look, I'd rather watch a flying squirrel, a game about a flying squirrel, than a man wearing white gloves talking for 10 minutes.
Hey, if ain't no white gloves, I ain't even watching. I already told you.
Oh my gosh,
I ain't doing it. Hey, so Tim, as we expected, State of Play was trash.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was okay, but I think they could have made it a little longer. 11 minutes is a little cut it too short. 20 minutes, a little bit better. But obviously, they're just going with the game's content first approach, which I kind of like. But overall, I felt Final Fantasy VII was a little bit of a surprise, but I don't think it had as much hype as it. I remember 2015. That literally won Sony that E3. If you go back there, the way that people were talking, that and Shenmue 3 were like a big deal.
Well, you got to remember that the same people thought Sony won last E3.
Yeah, exactly. So it was kind of funny to me, but I wasn't as down on it as you guys. I thought it was okay. It's just a head scratcher that they're missing E3. I just don't think that that's really right to do to the fans, especially in the position that they're in. They should be there 100%.
Well, hey, if you got a problem with the link to Inside Xbox, like that's the thing. If linked is the thing, just don't watch it. That's the catch a highlight reel or something. I just feel like there's more substantial information at some of those, but that's just my opinion. Let's move on real quick to Last of Us 2, just for those that are curious. Naughty Dog hiring to close out development. We're hearing behind the scenes that game very well may be ready for this year. So, I mean, it's a very good possibility you may see Last of Us 2 this year. And, Naughty Dog, probably the highest rated studio of all time. And that game's going to blow minds when it comes
We're
out. We'll
gonna
see.
it, bro. We're gonna see it this year. I've been saying it forever now. At the end of this year, it'll be out.
Well, according to math, it could be out maybe October, November, because the Last of Us 1 and Uncharted 4, when they closed out that section of the game, they were ready within 5 or 6 months. So that puts them in November, which is a good time to release The Last of Us 2.
Can I ask you something though, Cole?
Yeah.
I hate to break, but I got to ask you: are you using rapid packed math by the way?
Oh my gosh! So anyway, that's kind of like where it's sitting. But then a lot of other experts are saying that they need a lot more time than just 6 months, and that like it could be a spring release, which would be fantastic as well. So I mean, I don't know.
Shades of Uncharted 4 for me. I don't know. Like I felt like it wasn't Uncharted 4. Like it's coming November or whatever. Then they kind of pushed it back into spring. I kind of feel like that's going to happen again. If it comes out this year, awesome. We're going to be sitting there playing it. But if not, then whatever. Spring. Here we go.
You know what the shitty thing is though for Microsoft is no matter what year it comes out, it's not good for them. No matter what, Last of Us could come out and be complete trash, which would never happen. And, they're still going to win that year, right? I mean, that's just how it is. We all know it. That's how it's going to go down. Patman says, I like to talk, what?
Fairies and trees and shit.
Patman says, I like to talk to fairies and trees and shit. But anyone heard anything on Zelda with achievements? No, I don't. I have no clue. Tunic.
Tunic
You're talking about
Tunic.
The little fox
I haven't
game,
heard about Tunic. Tunic is, it looked interesting, but yeah, I haven't seen anything on it, man. Sorry, I was a little confused where you were going.
Wait a while. You're gonna wait a while. That's like an Ashen / Below type of game, man. It's gonna take a minute for that to come out.
I think that's being made by one person as well.
I like Patman. He's a man who knows what he likes. He likes to talk to fairies and trees. That's cool.
Yeah, Zelda. Hey, we got to give a shout out to over 750 people watching us live, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get to 300 for the end of the show. 1,000 if you're watching after the fact. Maybe share this where you share things. You guys are the absolute best. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, consider doing so. We do keep up on all this. We're gonna have a massive E3 show this year. Probably a couple thousand people in the chat right after Xbox's showcase. We'll be live with whoever's available, and we will have Randall Thor here. We'll be going to his channel afterwards. And who knows who else? So whoever can make it. We're gonna definitely be doing that. We're putting that out there now.
Randall Thor didn't invite me
or me.
You're always invited.
You guys know you're not invited. Come on. Hey, just
Hold
so
on,
you guys
texted me. He said, "Colt, you're
Almost
not
spit out my
invited."
water.
Yep.
Hey, just so you guys know, there's been a glitch going around on the YouTube and Netflix app on the Xbox, where you'll be watching, and often during transitions, right? Like during my videos or any other 4K videos, you'll get like pink or green or weird gray mesh freezes on the screen. That is being fixed, I do believe, thanks to some patch notes for the Insider program. I think Microsoft have found a way to fix it on their end. That's being fixed soon on the Insider program. So that'll definitely be coming our way, which is good because that's really annoying to put 6-7 hours into a video and half of it's just like frozen. Right. So that's just so annoying. But yeah, look forward to that. We've also got Gears 5 information. Zalker, September 10th. That's kind of the leaked date. And the cover art, people are mad about this Gears of War 5 leak. We got some cover art, quote unquote, which probably isn't final. But it comes with the date of September 10th, 2019. And we had heard September several weeks ago, which is kind of curious. So it could be pretty accurate here. But the cover art, and people are still mad that Kate's the main person. And it's like, did you beat Gears 4? Do you understand why you're playing as Kate? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand.
You know what's funny about that cover art, though? It's hilarious because 90% of you are buying that digitally anyway. Who cares about the cover art?
You'll see the picture in your games.
It's just the whole like, the woman is the main character, but I love Tomb Raider. Yeah, it's so dumb. So dumb.
I don't know. If you like Dealer said, if you played Gears 4, you understand exactly why Kate's the main character. Not to mention, like, they've been since last year, they've been kind of promoting this whole white because it's in the snow. For the first time, we're looking at like the snow and like and there's going to be a lot of environments in this game, we've already seen a lot of them, like desert. We've seen,
Ice.
frozen forests, and a bunch of other stuff. Like it's going to
Trees
be
and
freaking
fairies.
awesome. Trees and fairies, exactly. Zelda's going to show up. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The box art didn't bother me a lot. Like I actually watched
The
it and I was
story
like,
is going to
cool.
be the story is going to be big. Like the first half of Gears 4, the story isn't really compelling, but like the way that this one kicks off with like this struggle and like her trying to choose between if she's going to be loyal to the cogs or if she's going to be loyal to what's going on with her mom.
Yeah, you're
that's gonna be
ruining.
cool.
Yeah, you're ruining the story for Gears 4 for people who haven't played it. Colt.
It's been 3 years.
No, I know.
No, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think September 10th is actually a pretty good release date. I know it coincides directly with Borderlands 3. I think one of those games is either going to move out of the way or just stay put. And, to be honest with you, that's what Game Pass is for. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, hey, it's going to be on Game Pass anyways. You can either buy it or you can just get $10 and play it and then get Borderlands on top of it. There's no choice. You don't have a choice to choose between either game. If you have
Game Pass is trash.
It is trash, but I'm just looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the co-op, playing with your buddies, and figuring out if she's going to go Queen of Blades on us. I can't.
Well, is there a way to choose Marcus Phoenix instead?
Only if you have tomatoes in your pockets.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Let's move on. Hey, there's a lot of people out there, Tim Dog, that think that we're making excuses on the whole Terry Myerson. Like, there's some dumb motherfuckers that unfortunately make videos, and they think that Xbox fans are making excuses when we say things like, hey, Terry Myerson really halted the funding to brand new games. I mean, can you double down on that once again and kind of reconfirm that? Like, Terry Myerson being removed was one of the best things to happen to Xbox in the last 10 years. Now we're getting the investment. I feel like it says enough by itself to see all the studios, all the new games, right after Terry Myerson is kind of removed and Phil gets promoted. We get all this new investment, right?
Yeah, he was definitely somebody that he was not a gamer and he was not enthusiastic about gaming in general. He was more of a Windows guy, a services guy.
How can Xbox make Windows more money? Spider-Man?
Right, that type of mentality. I've asked around. I've never gotten concrete answers because obviously people don't want to talk about stuff like that. But
That's some deep behind the scenes shit.
I've heard enough things, and I think Jez has heard enough things too, where there was definitely something there too. The fact that he was more into cutting the budgets in the years of like 2016, 17, especially. He was looking to cut costs. He wasn't a big fan of making the X, from what I heard, because he thought that
he was basically the reason that they had to get rid of Platinum for Scalebound, right? They had to save funds.
I heard that he wasn't a big fan of the X, which was when that was greenlighted, and I think he wanted some kind of retribution or some type of payback. So he kind of pushed back. And said, "Well, you got to give me some, you got to cut down on these costs. So you got to give me, some type of nugget." And those were the type of things. If you remember, they said they were done marketing big games. They lost Call of Duty, and that was a big deal. And Star Wars, that was all, that was all trying to cut costs to trying to, make Terry kind of, happy about what he was running, because he was heading Xbox at one point. He was Phil directly, he was
Phil
right
reported
above
to
Phil.
him and he reported to Satya, right?
Yes. So the whole changing thing was when Phil got on the executive board, and that basically, solidified Phil's position, but it also solidified Xbox, and they basically made gaming a pillar of their organization, where it was never recognized as that. When gaming came into Xbox, it was always something. It was a side project. It wasn't considered within the window, umbrella. When he became, the executive part of that group, everything changed. And at Game Pass, the things like Game Pass and certain things that Phil has done that's made Xbox profitable is the reason why you're seeing this robust spending and the robust growth of all these studios. You talked about Turn 10. You go along every one of those studios and you're talking about plus 40, plus 50 on a studio, plus 70 on a studio. Rare is almost at 300. Crazy amount of hiring, crazy amount of acquisitions, still looking. And it was a core reason. There's no way to. They were at one point. I remember being told that they're not, and I remember being upset about it. Like they're just holding their fort right now. They're not looking to be building or creating games. They're just waiting to see how it all plays out. And that was when Terry was in charge. And once he got out of the picture, everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously,
you can already tell.
What would you say?
I said you can already tell by everything that's being done, like the acquisitions, but not even that, like hiring developers for these new acquisitions. But the biggest telling point for me, and the biggest thing that shouts out, is people like Turn 10, already established studio who make high-rated racing games like Forza and everything, that they're even hiring more people. Mm-hmm. Like they're not sitting put. They're even putting their best developers and going, hey, in their studios and going, hey, keep hiring, get better talent to even make your games even more accessible to everyone and just look better and be better. That's what honestly is the change to me.
You've got Turn 10, who's been on a 2-year clockwork. So you used to be able to measure it by the time of the year, of the time of that day that new game would be out, right?
Yep.
For the first time ever, they're like, you know what? No, we're not only are we expanding, we're going to reinvest in our own technology, which is what they're doing. The next Forza will be the first, probably one of the first games ever on console with ray tracing. Mark that down. And they are reinvesting in technology. They're hiring studio members, and more than anything, they're reinvesting in themselves, their own technology. So,
Dealer, somebody today told me that the PlayStation 5 will be the same power as the Xbox Anaconda because Sony has a partnership with AMD.
Ugh.
Go ahead.
That's weird. That's almost like Microsoft had a partnership as well. Hey, Sony have a partnership with AMD with the PS4 Pro. Did the X was that better? I don't remember.
2 times better or something?
Oh yeah, that 200% more pixel output plus more RAM and all that shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. So yeah, I mean, for one, we can kind of move forward, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there that like to act like we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. You must not be paying attention. Like we've told you this a long time ago. Terry Myerson was an issue. He gets removed. And I've been told more directly by people that, are kind of involved, like, hey, look, this guy was a problem. He looked for ways for Xbox to make Windows money, not the other way around. He didn't realize the capability for Xbox itself, that $10 billion annually they just made the most money they ever made in their history with almost no software. Think about that. When they start launching games, that number's going to be way higher. So, yeah, I mean, he just wasn't very bright. So,
it's exciting. It's honestly kind of exciting.
Kind of worth bringing up, man. Studios and all that investments all the way up. So, Nitro Gummy. Yes, we're going to talk about the Xbox here in a bit. We got some other great topics, but I did want to get that out there. D-Batch real quick. Red Dead 2 PC leaked by former Rockstar employee. We knew this was coming. When do you expect to see this? Real quick.
I think we're going to get an announcement at E3, and we'll probably get it in the fall. And that way it sets them up for a remastered version when next gen consoles launch next year. So I think we're going to get it in the fall. To be honest with you, I got into Red Dead. It's a great game. It looks fantastic. I know console guys are going to get real pissed off at me here, but the 30 frames per second just kind of took me out of it, and I just kind of put it down, and I said, you know what, I'm going to wait till the PC version comes. So this is good news for me. I can't wait.
Do they ever go to E3? Rockstar seems to say, fuck you, we do what
they
we
don't
want.
Need to.
They show up on a goddamn Thursday night at midnight, and they're like, hey, this is what we got, and people are like, oh fuck,
they stream from a random Buffalo Wild Wings, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Somebody said that chat.
They do have the PC game show at E3, so if they were to announce such a thing, it'd probably be there.
Somebody said in the chat that the ambient occlusion went back in. The launch graphics got patched back into the Red Dead 2.
Yeah, I think somebody just screwed up, bro. They just accidentally.
Fuck, I hit the toggle on accident.
I hit N instead of Y in the code.
Bro, that game still is visually the most impressive game this gen.
Yep.
No.
Shut up, dealer.
Metro.
Metro. Yes, I'll agree. There's some textures and stuff that are amazing. But if you look at how big that game is,
it doesn't even matter how big Red Dead is. At every moment, it looked fantastic, and
they Metro looks really good.
Metro looks really good.
But remember, games aren't ever going to look good for Xbox ever again because those games are going to multiple platforms now. So all their games are going to look like trash.
And I'll just say this: people that say Days Gone looks better than Red Dead, you haven't played Red Dead 2 on the X.
Why would you even compare Days Gone to Red Dead or Metro?
There was a bunch of people on Twitter saying that.
Are they seeing Metro and Red Dead on the Pro or the X? Because there's a pretty okay. That's why. All right. So yeah, that's definitely not the case. But Red Dead 2 coming to PC, as we know. We've also Halo Infinite. As I said, my buddy Pat made a video. It's coming to E3. We know that. But I wanted to kind of run this by the panel real quick because it is a good, interesting question. What does Halo Infinite, and this is kind of relying on the chat as well. We're going to read some stuff off here. Anything interesting you guys can kind of shout out. But what does Halo Infinite need to show this year at E3 to kind of regain that old nostalgia, that kind of hype factor? What do they need to show when this game comes up on stage, man? Like, Colt, what do you need to see?
Lock. No, I'm just kidding.
Lock flying off of interstate.
They need to show a game. They need to show a gameplay trailer that just screams Halo Combat Evolved, like in the new generation on a new engine. Like, 'cause that's kind of what people kind of want to call back to how Halo was in the beginning and get some of that magic back. And I want them to show like some really awesome multiplayer mode, like a new Warzone firefight or something. That you're going to have this huge open campaign and a really killer multiplayer modes.
I think they need to show a little bit.
Says the flood. We need to see the flood.
Yeah,
I need to see bigger. I need to see big upper scale, like big worlds and everything. Like I want to see what this engine can do, because they promoted the engine last year and it's like, okay, you made a whole new engine for this. Let's see what it could fucking do. I want to see it do co-op. I want to see crazy, just scale, like just set pieces. I want to see cool shit that makes me go, wow. Halo, I can't wait to fucking play Halo again.
Dolphins.
Like we're playing 2. We're playing Halo 2. Me and Dealer, we just beat it, and on the Master Chief Collection, but PC games. We're just we love that. We just enjoyed it so much, and all the story and everything, the lore. It was just great. We had a good time.
But let me ask you a question, Zucker.
What's up?
Do you think maybe that's where the Dolphins from Sea of Thieves went in Halo?
I think the Dolphins when Sea of Thieves said "fuck you" and left. That's what I think.
No, I've got to agree with Colt here. I think they do need to show Locke. I think they need to show Master Chief just bitch slap Locke and say, "What were you trying to do in Halo 5? You are not the leader here. I am Halo." So they need to show Master Chief.
But they're both really dull and boring. It doesn't matter.
No,
it's like when you watch an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Like, you watch it for the badass, right?
Yeah, you watch it for you play this game. You play the Halo games to be Master Chief. You don't play to be Locke or anybody else. And so they need to show that, and they just need to show growth within the series. They need to show growth within the single player anyway. More badass weaponry, just crazy big open world would be awesome. I just think that it just shows some growth.
Now, here's the question, though. There is trilogy combat where you couldn't even fucking run. And then there's Halo 4 and up combat where, it's a little faster paced. It's a little more mobile combat. There's mounting, all that stuff. Do you think they're going to have a mix, or they're going to have really fast paced combat? Or are they going to go back retro?
Speed walking across the battlefield.
That's an interesting question.
I think sprint and iron sighting is going to return. I hope so. I don't know. I really like the feel of the gunplay in Halo 5. I know the story. I always tell people the story isn't very good. The campaign isn't very varied overall. But yeah, I really like the iron sighting with like that pistol and stuff. Like, I think that stuff's cool. But that's me.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
What do you think?
Tim,
just need to get the story down, man. That's
Tim,
it.
give us kind of your final verdict. What do they need to show you? The chat kind of said the flood. Keep in mind, too, Halo Wars 2, probably one of the best stories in any Halo game, thanks to those blur cutscenes. There a lot happened in that game that may have a lot to do with Halo Infinite. Keep that in mind. Atriox, the flood came back. I don't know if you got that expansion, but it was pretty good. Tim, what's going to happen here? Give us the inside scoop. I know you know. Don't lie.
Yeah, I wish. I hope to have the flood for me. Whoever said that in the chat, kudos to you, because that is the one thing that would get me going. I love the flood, and I would love to see it in the new engine. They already said, as Orca was saying, about the slip. What is it? Slip space engine?
Yeah. Yeah,
they didn't want to show it because it would kind of
make everything else look bad.
Yeah, make everything else look bad. So if it's as good as that, I really want to see it. Show the flood, and show a little bit of storyline. The questions about, is it going to be like the old Halo or the close to the new? that's those type of questions I hope are answered, because some people want the old style. I think a majority want the old style, or the old type of the way Halo was compared to the newer style. So I hope all that stuff is there. But if they could add like the flood and Aatrox, even Aatrox in there, I would go crazy.
Well, do you want educated flood, Tim? Do you want the educated flood or the dumb flood? Because in Halo 2, they're educated as fuck.
This real quick. I mean, there's dumb flood where like, hey, I'm gonna smack you, and then there's the educated flood. They start riding vehicles around and aimbotting you, and
flying.
I just love the things where you're shooting it and his arms are falling off and they just keep coming. That's what I remember.
Everybody's talking about the flood, Aatrox, all this other stuff. Like, for me, show me some new enemy types, man. Like that's the one thing I have a problem with a lot of these video games.
And I want more hot dogs.
I want more enemy types in these types of games. If you're going to prolong a series like this for many, many years, you got to show new enemy types, man.
Think about it, though, Fonz. Though, consider this, though. It's been literally almost an entire generation since we've seen the flood. Now, when they bring these guys back, they can completely retool and reanimate these things to make them so much creepier and come at you different ways.
Yeah, of course. And they could bring back the flood in that respect. But I want to see new enemy types as well. I just want to see new stuff.
I want to see a world that's constantly at war. Like, I want all like factions to be at war the entire time on the planet that you're on. If it is open world and you're just going around,
kind of like Rage 2.
I mean, kind of, yeah, like factions just going out, fighting over shit. Like, I would like to see that where you're going in certain, like, you'll be just riding around and then there'll be like a fucking battle going on the right, and you could join it or skip it and just move on.
Yep.
Right. Like something fucking cool like that makes Halo feel like I'm fighting for this, not this world, but this Halo, like that'd be cool shit.
I agree.
Well, hey, we got to move on. We have been on this for a minute. Xbox draws in even more big talent for the initiative. These guys are making something epic. I'm telling you.
Yes, they will.
Lead producer of God of War 2018, Red Dead writers, all kinds of great talent. Like, so they just picked up Robert Ryan of Naughty Dog. He's the
another Naughty Dog. Yeah,
senior systems designer. And keep in mind, the initiative is right there in California. They require like 10 years of experience minimum. And, for senior positions is even more, I do believe, or maybe that's what they need for that. But, I mean, the initiative, once again, we've talked about them so many times, but they just keep picking up more and more good people, man. I mean, I'm just really excited for that.
I have something to say about this. So, to me, we've heard a lot of people on different podcasts say that the initiative is the smaller team and they're making small games and all that. This is complete horseshit, everybody.
Whoever said that is obviously clueless. The initiative are making massive games, right?
Well, he said that they're going to be small and agile, but then he turned around and said, people were laughing, and he said, I got to reiterate, it's a AAA studio.
Well, no, the reason why they're small and agile is because they're getting the ideas down. If you guys watch the documentary Raising Kratos, when Corey Barloff and all the people are talking about it, they said that they were like 20 people working on God of War at one time, and then that they had another game being made by 120 or 110 other developers within the studio. That game got canceled. Sony doesn't cancel anything, right? That game got canceled, and then 110 and 120 people went over to the God of War team, and they were like, okay, what do you have for us? And they're like, we're 9 months away from giving you anything to work on. That's how the development cycle and these things work when you're building stuff and it requires programming and artists and all that stuff, is you have a small team first, which the initiative is doing, and then you start bringing on a lot of people to fill out the game and actually make it and design the worlds and all that. You got to get the concept down. That's the whole point. And that's what, if you guys haven't seen the Raising Kratos, if you haven't seen Raising Kratos, watch that. It's fucking amazing. It's 2 hours long. And that's what Initiative is doing. They're in the beginning stages of creating something hopefully fucking epic.
Of course, and that's exactly what I've been thinking as well, Zocker, that that's what they're doing with this quote small team. They're just building here, and all these developers that they're hiring on, they're amazing. So to me, this just sounds like Crackdown 4 is going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Gosh dang it, Fonz! You start off like I think you're going to be serious, and then you come in and just like.
No. Seriously though, I'm being serious about them hiring all these talented developers. It's awesome, man.
There's no excuse.
There's but there's no excuse for people to be shitting on the initiative at this point. I mean, especially when the same guys that are shitting on the initiative are the same guys who were championing some of these developers when they were working on the games that they are championing all the time. So
I'm saying the pressure.
I got to fix something because we talked about this off the air the other day, but like Microsoft had this really bad 2 years, this 2017, 2018 with these third party, I guess you call them first party exclusives with studios they're not really working with anymore. And everyone has this idea that this will be the way that Microsoft releases Xbox games for the rest of their existence, that the next Xbox will have crappy games like Quantum Break and stuff like that. Like this is not like how it's supposed. This is like a totally different thing, and people need to understand and look at. I tried to like do this with a video and show them. Look at who these studios are. Look at what they've made. Look at what they're capable of, and you're gonna pull your head out and like understand that 2 years of a slow spot, like. Sony could be in a slow spot for just this year, at least most of it. It doesn't mean that the rest of their freaking existence is going to be like that. It's these fanboy mentalities. Like,
well, every time you mention that, then they're like, "What about Cyclone Sandal 17 and all these weird games you never heard of that isn't even first party and stuff like that." Hey, we got to give a shout out to almost 850 people watching this live, guys. Let's hit the like button there and share this where you share things. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You make the show what it is. So we've become quickly, well, I guess for the last couple of years, we've actually kind of been the Xbox show in the community that kind of a lot of people tune into and stuff. And we do appreciate that. You guys are fucking phenomenal. We do. Thank you so much. We got to move on.
I got to say something about that though, real quick. I think that we're more than just an Xbox podcast. Yes, we're Xbox centric, but honestly, we talk games, period. We talk
bunch of PC frauds in hiding.
well, D, he's not in hiding. He's right here in plain sight.
I gotta say, I just kind of wrote this, but everyone's like, "What? Come on, Quantum Break isn't crappy." I'm like, I'm talking about like the overall score. Like it was a 71, and it got
77. It was 77, but it was a letdown. It was a letdown.
I mean,
now technically though, Quantum Break is rated higher than Days Gone. I like to take a second to remind everybody that. But what I also want to remind people is, hey, you're not allowed to criticize Days Gone. Like, keep in mind, I like this game. I did a review on it
too.
But people are like, you're not allowed to criticize Days Gone unless you played it. Did you play Crackdown? No, shut the fuck up then, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't play Crackdown, and you're hammering people that like that game, but you don't see the hypocrisy here, right? So
it is huge hypocrisy, and I liked Quantum Break, and there's some stuff I really didn't like about it. But it's got an average score, and apparently a 77 on Xbox equates to a 72 on PlayStation. I mean, whatever. It's like
Quantum Break's rated higher than Rage 2. Fuck me.
Yeah, doesn't it blow your mind? Like it's just I don't know.
I know a lot of these people have blocked you, Colt, and stuff, but so you may not see some of these tweets, but I see some of these people tweeting about you all the time, like, Colt's just nothing but a fanboy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, Colt's just been running around playing like 60 hours of Days Gone and loving it. And you guys are just like trying to push him all the time.
Facts, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's the problem is, Fonz, people are so one way or the other. Like they're either you love Sony and you hate Microsoft, or you just love Microsoft and you can't stand Sony. I see it all the time. Like they just cannot fathom it.
Here's the hilarious part. It's coming from the same guys who don't touch Xbox games. So, I mean,
like, did any of them review Crackdown and be like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I actually had a decent time, like with parts of this game, the single player.
Yeah,
because a lot of people that played it, just like Days Gone, a lot of people that played Days Gone, like, I think this is higher than a 72. Some didn't. But like with Crackdown, a lot of people in this community really like Crackdown single player. And it's at like a 60, right? So that's okay. People have different tastes in games. A lot of you guys love Knack 1 and Killzone, and all these games are kind of rated kind of low. So according to your own standards. So just keep that in mind. Like, just play what you like, right? Like what you like. PS5 release date and price apparently revealed by an analyst. Rand did a video on this yesterday, actually, November 2020 at $499. With this kind of technology D-batch, you're talking about SSD power. The key to their generation is that SSD, according to Sony. That is the key to their generation, their secret weapon. Do you see this being $499? Maybe they're taking a hit on it. Maybe it'll be $399. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so like, I'm on the fence on this. Like, do they want to come out next generation and just take a loss right off the gate? After such a profitable generation that they're having right now, I don't know. $399 tells me two things. $399 tells me A, they're gonna take a big loss, like $100 loss on the console, or B, that they gimped out on the specs of the system.
Or what about a little bit of both there? Because I
Yeah.
could see that as well.
Yeah, it could be. The $499 price tag makes sense to me. If they're pricing it at $499, I would say almost certainly then the Xbox would probably be priced at $600 because it's all but confirmed at this point that it's going to
No,
be.
I think the only way the PlayStation 5 is $499 is if the Xbox Anaconda is only. That's hard for me to say Anaconda correctly. I think the Xbox Anaconda is only slightly more powerful than the PS5, and it's also priced at $499. I don't think there's no way that that they're going to release a console at $550 or $600 in the US. I don't think it's going to happen.
If it is much more beefier than the PS5, I can see.
Well, you have the Lockhart. Remember, you have the Lockhart, so
yeah,
it kind of throws the monkey wrench into the whole thing.
I think gamers are willing to pay $600 to get that 4K 60 PC experience, and let's be honest, it's $600. That's a bargain.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, yeah, but it's hard. I mean, Tim's got a really good point. Lockhart throws a wrench in traditional console thinking where, hey, if you want, go for this, it's $300, right? Great value, gives you all the next generation volumetrics and all that stuff that we can enable. But if you really want to go all out and you don't want any real compromises, we got a 1 terabyte M.2 with a ton of power and maybe some ray tracing cores that can, not really ray tracing cores, but some specialized cores that can be used for physics or ray tracing, whatever they want to use them for per developer. Yeah, I mean, it's different. Like Microsoft could truly say, you know what, we don't care. Like you can play it on a PC, you can stream it on your phone, you can play it on your Xbox One S, your Lockhart, or if you really don't want to compromise, you want a box that's truly future-proof for quite a while, then you can get an Anaconda. It's $600, but your face is going to get ripped off your skull.
Yeah. Let's be realistic here too. When you think Anaconda, you hear all the rumors about the specs. There's no way in hell that thing's going to be $400, guys. There's no way.
We know the Anaconda. We know the Anaconda's not $400.
I know, but there's some people out there that are like wishing for that, and that's not going to happen, guys.
No, that reminds me of when the Xbox One X was about to hit, and people had $399 on their Google Hangouts pictures, right? It's going to be $400. Nope. Hey, Mo Kool-Aid Kid says, shout out to my brother Dealer and the gang. Thank you so much, man. Keep it coming. We sure will. We will. This podcast has been going for a couple years now. And we're still having a blast with it, guys. So thank you so much.
And we still haven't been able to get rid of D.
hey, I special ordered D, and he's still here.
He's the best.
Yeah, D was the first pick. Yeah, he's the
D makes the best goat milk ever.
Yeah, I remember a little over 2 years ago, I got to jump on Beastfire with Dealer and D, and that's where I met all you guys. And it's been cool to come along and pick up a couple of nerds on the way, like soccer.
Your little rocks got stuck in the tire on the way here. Xbox 2 and PlayStation 5 will not disrupt development, according to Take-Two CEO. He says that these new systems, you remember when the X was also coming out, everyone was fear-mongering. What are they going to do? They're going to have 2 systems, and that's all people do is fear-monger. It's going to be $700, and their hair bursts into flames. They don't know what to do with themselves. Well, Take-Two CEO is already kind of reassuring people that the next Xbox will not impede development of games, meaning either they've got a dev kit that's really badass like the Xbox One X where you push a button and develop for each SKU real quick, like you literally optimize for more performance, it gets easier and easier, or they found out a different way through GameCore. But either way, Take-Two CEO says that's not going to be a big deal at all. And Rebellion Games, the guys behind Sniper Elite and Zombie Army Trilogy, say that they are actually really excited to start working with consoles like the PS5. Developers are really enthusiastic at the possibilities of this new hardware, this new technology. So that's really, really good news, D-Batch. I mean, you remember all the fear-mongering about the X and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. And I don't understand PC guys always getting on the console guys. Next generation is going to be extremely pivotal for PC. It's going to move PC gaming so much forward. Just the fact that these console games are no longer going to be held to 30 frames per second with these weak CPUs and GPUs. PC guys will benefit for this. So,
and you're talking about 8-core, 16-thread D-Batch. I mean, you're seeing games on the PC finally start to take advantage of more threads, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's exactly true. Like even now, of course we got more games that are supporting it, but still, it's not where it needs to be. And with console games being developed with this in mind, automatically the PC game will take advantage of it. So champion these console, you PC guys.
Yeah. And here's the thing, what it is. It comes down to jealousy, and the reason why I say that is because it's a fact.
Just taking shots.
Well, console games drive the industry. Period, and they know this, and they don't like it. But that's just the facts, people. Yeah. So,
like, would Assassin's Creed Odyssey be what it was if there wasn't 100 million consoles out there in the market?
No. And that's the thing. And a lot of these PC guys even champion, stealing and pirating games. And to me, that's insane. So, I mean, if you're all about video gaming, you should be backing, these consoles because they are the driving force. That's the facts.
Tim Dog has also been in the trenches as well. He sees a lot on Twitter. You saw everything from every side of the aisle, all of the fear mongering about the Xbox One X. The Scorpio would never do 4K. It'd be $700. That developers are going to be overworked and they can't develop. Microsoft found a way around all of that. Are you surprised that this isn't? I mean, if you remember anything else they were saying, feel free to bring it up because there was just so much.
Yeah, I remember that they wouldn't dev for a population of 0. Remember that one?
Oh, they never be taken advantage of because it's Xbox, right?
They're not gonna because it's a SKU that has no, only hasn't sold, that they're not gonna develop for it. I remember a lot of the stupid stuff and some of the stupid stuff that actually Phil had to answer on Twitter, if you remember. But with the XDK, you look at how we define this XDK is on both sides. It's gonna be easier and easier to make games to the transition. I mean, I watched that xCloud video and the XDK about how they added streaming and how you could put your the tap touch and all the stuff that you can do. They just keep adding and adding and adding tools.
They've got
for
automated
developers.
stuff in there, right? Tim,
yes, Cloud Aware. Cloud Aware.
API will do some of the things for them, so it
adjust to the font sizes and stuff like that, like when they go small screens. But the point is the tools of the developers that are given to the developers are so much more defined now this generation, and going into next generation. There's going to be no problem. There's going to be no problem in certain things. The one question I do have is, how are they going to do the 30, 60 frame splits? Unless they're just going to do it the way they're doing it now, where they have the performance mode. Yeah. It adds a little bit of more time, but I think performance mode games, you're going to see a ton of them next generation, and stuff like that.
I think Tim, just the fact that these consoles are going to have the Zen 2 CPU unit, I think the strain is just lifted off the developers right there alone, because there's no reason why that game shouldn't run 60 frames per second. Now, the resolution may become an issue. Like they might not be able to push 4K in every game. They might not
the GPU will be the bottleneck more often.
But this 60 frames per second should be the norm. If it's not, I'm going to be honest. It's developers being really lazy because.
Yeah, well, you look at the game like Rage, and you even said it yourself. You have a 2080 Ti, right?
Yeah,
and you're not running 60 frames per second on your PC. So it's it's going to be give or take. I still think that there's going to be games that are just 30 frames per second across the board. I don't think that every game is going to be 60 frames per second.
I mean, every game will be able to do 60 FPS. I don't see any game being bottlenecked.
Yeah, but I do think that you might get some type of
any developer that does not give you a performance mode should we should have a stern talking to.
Okay, honestly, I think the devs are sick and tired of having to cap things back to 30 and then using the overhead for graphics. Like it's gotten old, and I know that they know how games are supposed to run, and they've been bottlenecked themselves.
I gotta ask D though. I gotta ask D a question about this Rage 2 on his 2080 Ti. Now, are you trying to run it with all the bells and whistles? Is that why it's not hitting 60?
I don't have a 2080 Ti. I have a Radeon 7, but I've watched the 2080 Ti benchmarks, and they're running it with all the bells and whistles. However, I will say this though: even if you put the settings down to high in that game, you're still not getting 60 frames per second. If you want 60 frames per second, like with a Radeon 7 2080 Ti, they have a dynamic scaler in there, so you can set it to 80%, that it never drops below 80% of the res, and then you can get your 60.
And that's fine as long as we get those options with the next gen consoles, and they say, okay, if you want to run at 1440p, let's say dynamic scaling, whatever, then you can run at 60. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So why did Rage 2 get? I mean, it's not really a parody, but why did it just decide to cap both at 1080p to get the 60
Well,
frames on the
from
Pro
me
and X.
looking at the gameplay footage, I haven't played the console version. I've just like seen people playing it, and for what I see, it looks like the Xbox this has a lot more features turned on. Looks like their depth of field is stronger. That the textures look a little bit better. So
Texture filtering should be better.
so
by
even
default.
though it's at the same resolution, the GPU is just so much more powerful that they're able to do more things with it, right? So
if anything, that GPU is just sitting there hovering, just idling at 1080p. So.
Man, I'm just going to be hitting it home every time, every show, even because the bigger we get, the more ears are upon us. And I got to say, developers, if you're listening, we love those performance modes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
you
I
said it to the
think
best
at that
person
point,
ever, right?
I think it should be a mandate. I remember when the PlayStation 4 was leaking and they had certain mandates in it, like how they handle their games. I think it should be a mandate that every game should have a 60 frames per second mode. And then if developers want to, go all out and add all the bells and whistles, then they can have a mode that at least 30 frames per second.
I heard the PS3 finally got that update that gives them 1080p 60 across the board, like they were claiming that thing could do. But I will say, Phil Spencer himself, when asked what the next systems will be about, would be boot times and performance, meaning 60 FPS. So that kind of gives you a massive clue. Also, shout out to Meat Puppy. He says the chat is only as good as the show, and I don't know about that, but hey. We do have a fantastic.
Well, you got to understand though, as well, and you understand this, I'm sure, dealer. But with these developers, when they start developing games for the next gen consoles, when they put these consoles out, they want to put their best foot forward. They want to show you all the nice, bright and shiny graphics. So they're going to be pushed. These graphics will be pushed further than they ever have been before. And sure, frames will take a hit when this happens, but just offering that frame rate mode. And just cut down on those graphics.
I mean, we're getting 60 FPS on a ton of games now, even with the X. Like, we're getting a lot of options there. So
the
next one is going to be so much better.
But not every developer, puts an option in there, and that's what I really want them to do.
Yeah.
What was that? What's that? Xbox On channel a couple years ago. They were that Benny guy asked Phil. He's sitting there on the couch with them playing a game. Goes, so you got is this Xbox Scorpio going to have like 60 FPS modes? And Phil goes, why do you keep bringing up 60 FPS? And I'm like, duh, Phil, he's bringing it up because it's what we want. And he was kind of trying to dodge.
And Phil's like, bitch, you can't do it. Okay, come back next gen.
It's funny you mentioned.
And then a couple of months ago, you hear Phil saying like, we're gonna have more performance, 60 FPS, like because he knew what the capabilities of developers are talking to Microsoft, saying we've seen what the Scorpio is what you have planned. Here's what to expect. He was trying to get people ready for it, but now he's trying to get us ready for more performance.
Gamers are just getting wiser to it. They're more adjusted to 60 frames. More and more gamers are getting accustomed to it, and they like it. So, and this is evident. And people are. I look on my timeline and I see when people put up polls, most people want that performance mode.
Anthony Porter says, I would laugh if Microsoft bought Naughty Dog. That's owned by Sony directly, so that will never happen. But Naughty Dog are a fantastic studio.
But keep in mind, Microsoft can buy Sony. They have enough money.
Yeah, okay.
Just a joke.
Anthony also says, shout out to the Naughty Dog of Xbox. That's Colt Eastwood.
You know what, though? There people. Naughty Dog is amazing, no doubt. But you cannot sleep on what the initiative is trying to do for Xbox. Honestly, you look at these developers, the talent there.
Yes.
The talent that they're acquiring with that studio is something that really needs to be, you need to open your eyes if you're not watching what they're doing there. So I expect a really great game coming from them. I really do.
One of their big leads, Drew Murray.
It's just going to take time.
Yep.
It's just going to take a lot of time.
Oh, here we go, though, Tim. Now people are going to say, "What, Tim? Wait for E3. Wait for next E3."
I don't think you'll see.
At least we got E3. God damn it.
Yeah.
They are going to be big and they're going to be good.
Mr. Buster Palmer in the super chat says, this may sound like a silly question, but do you think the next gen console will have a different design? Also, if it is $600, do you think it'll be worth it? Hopefully it looks a little different than the Xbox One X, right? Yeah. I'm really hoping it does look a little bit different, but really they kind of like
we know that Microsoft likes like a really simple look, but they have to do something a little beyond the X.
Microsoft can't do hardware.
But I'll be interested to see what the new controller looks like, because we know that they'll follow the same design, that the controllers will probably be compatible with the new console. It'll be interesting to see what they do to make that.
I'll be honest.
more
The controller. I feel like the Xbox controller is freaking almost flawless.
It is almost flawless.
Little things they could do. The only controller I need to change is the fucking PlayStation one because that one's fucking terrible. Just change that up. I know, and they're never going to. They're never going to.
Horrible.
They're never going to, and I get it. There are because so many people are used to it, and a lot of people like it. But for me personally, I fucking hate it.
You are such a hater today.
They could.
Bro, I can't play a game for 4 hours without it dying.
Yeah,
like, I'm
cool. Run back up.
You know what? That's why you got to run with a USB cord. Okay, get a 10-foot cord. You're good.
Hey, let me say this.
I'm sorry,
I put over 40 hours on Days Gone this past couple weeks, and that controller with those little dinky wing flap triggers. I'm not saying this to like bash on PlayStation because I've been saying for years that
couple little skin tags on the back of the controller.
That the DualShock 4 is a pretty good controller and it's a lot better than the last one. But like, I cannot tell you how many times when I'm running from the Horde in Days Gone that my thumb has pushed the push pad, the touchpad, and put me into pause mode. I come out of pause mode. I'm standing still.
What?
Like it happens to me all the time.
Damn, how long is your thumb, bro? It goes all the way.
You gotta keep in mind, Fawn has baby hands.
Now, whenever I push down on the run button on a controller, I use the first crease on my thumb. I don't use the pad of my thumb. I use that crease.
Well, there's
that
only,
like joint there.
Well,
that's how I do it.
I'm not saying the control. Like, listen, the controller for me personally is just not good. I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying.
I never have liked the PlayStation controller. I've liked the Xbox controller. It's just the way it is, my preference. Yep. The only game that has really made me forget I was playing with a goddamn PlayStation controller is God of War. The only game ever, because
I will agree that the Xbox controller is better. If I had to choose one, I like the staggered sticks. The only thing is the sticks.
Anybody with 5 fingers would agree.
I think that the sticks themselves, though, need to be tightened. I think they're a little loose, and I've had that complaint forever now. But that's
my gosh!
Hey,
read what Batman said.
Hang on, Dr. Dinglenet. Oh my, you guys. Dr. Dinglenut says you're my second favorite dealer. Why you gotta expose me like that, huh? No big favorite.
PlayStation controller, though, I think it's really good for fighters, though. I do prefer it for fighters. That's the only time I prefer the PlayStation controller.
I don't mind it.
And I think a lot of people keep forgetting, also to the guy's question about the next generation consoles. Everyone keeps forgetting these consoles are going to be built on 7 nanometers. We know that they're going to have an SSD in it. I think these consoles are going to be pretty small.
Yeah, I gotta say real quick, I think there's people that deliberately make these weird ass names.
Yeah, we get some great names in the super chat. Patman Gaming says Cole has these long ass fingers so he can play the banjo. Yeah, definitely, and trust me, you can throw all the banjo music you want on your videos and don't make them great. So, I mean, there's certain people out there that think that. So. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to, we had almost 900 people in the chat today. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you guys. If you're still here, hit that like button. It really does help. Maybe share this somewhere. There's a lot of people that check this show out. You're at the gym, cleaning the house, at work. We help you guys, hopefully help you guys get through that a little bit faster. You guys are fantastic. D Batch, we're starting with some outros, and I want to know what you've been playing and where people can find you.
I've been playing Rage 2. Fucking love the game. I actually uploaded the first 30 minutes of it, PC footage, 4K crispiness on my channel, which you can find on my channel, which you can find at dbatch. And of course, you guys can find me on Twitter at D_batch. All
right. Colt Eastwood, what have you been playing? Where can people find you, bud?
I've been playing Days Gone. I'm almost done. I changed my score. I'll get a final score when I'm done. I'm on the last couple hours. I've been playing Bulletstorm Remaster. I love that game. I'm a fan of like little dinky games like that. And I am playing Rage 2, 3 hours in, and I wish I was playing right now.
Hey, Brad Mills, good point. People are sleeping on Microsoft Compute. Applies to more than xCloud. Yeah, AI, all that stuff. They're working on so much stuff. It's crazy. As well as HoloLens, like Minority Report shit. Not that that'll apply to consoles, but they got their hands in a lot of different areas. Mr. Buster Palmer once again says, hey, I'm proud of my YouTube name. Yeah, I like your YouTube name, Mr. Buster Palmer. It reminds me of, for some reason, who's that? Buster...
Arnold Palmer?
Yeah, someone from fucking wrestling back in the day, a long time ago when I was fucking 2. But yeah, well, tons of great names in the super chat, guys. Thank you guys so much once again. Tim Dog, what have you been playing and where can people find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter, Beastfire Tim Dog. Been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You guys told me about the game. I played it a little, but have to say what you guys said about the game is awesome. I'm really having a lot of fun with it. I'm already I would say a level 5, but I really kind of enjoy the game. I can't believe I missed it. So I'm looking to finish this game. Also been playing Mortal Kombat. I always go back to that, and NBA 2K19. But
How
yeah,
gorgeous is Mortal Kombat on the Xbox One X?
It is.
unbelievable on the OLED and everything. But also the AC Odyssey also looks unbelievable too.
Tim, didn't they just release some an expansion pack for the game?
Yes,
Another
they
one.
did.
Yeah, the second one, the first episode of the second one.
Yes, I saw somebody complaining that they wouldn't be able to scale a statue with 60 pounds of armor on it. But I was laughing at that tweet that I read. But overall, I have to say that the game is a good game. And if you haven't checked it out, try to get it on sale. You'll like it. Like I said, I really don't understand how that game didn't get the hype that I don't feel like it got the hype that it should have gotten at the time. I know that you were big into it, Dealer. You were saying it was like almost close to your game of the year, right?
You talking about Odyssey?
Yes.
Odyssey is one of the best games of the generation. If you still haven't played it, I implore you.
Yeah, you only have like 120 more hours until you're done. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it does seem like it
It's
takes
so
a long
awesome.
time.
Yep. All the naysayers that were shitting on the game didn't even play it at the beginning, and then a lot of them came back and played it, and they absolutely loved the game. They were very surprised that if they actually play a game, then they can kind of see themselves what we were talking about. It's not like we were just lying. Like randomly, I'm just gonna fucking die on this hill of Assassin's Creed randomly. Like,
Are you?
why?
You're talking shit about me. I
I'm
know.
not talking about just you, Fonz. There were so many frauds out there. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
But
one.
you did come back and you loved the game as well. Top 3 of the generation, right?
Top 3 of the generation for sure.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Anthony Porter, you're trying to start shit. Yeah, I already know, bud. Thanks. It's that effort. It's that effort. You got to actually try and care about what the fuck you're talking about. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And which isn't bad coming from a guy who's secretly a PC guy, right? Even though my gamer score is, I'm just paying people to play all these damn games that motherfuckers don't play.
What's gamer score? I thought you hide that.
A gamer score. Fonzarelli, where can people find you, bud? And what have you been playing?
Of course, Rage 2 right now. You can find me at jfonzarelli both here on YouTube and Twitter, and also here on YouTube, Mixed Martial Arts. I have a podcast about MMA. You can check that out at Fight Culture Podcast. You can find me right here on YouTube there as well. And I want to thank the chat because the chat has been awesome. So I want to thank Rumple Foreskin, Dr. Dinglenut, and Mr. Buster Palmer.
Wow.
Great super chats today. Thank you guys.
Hey, we had a ton of great super chats today. Yeah, we had a ton. And also, regarding to the PC thing, like that's just a little joke, other people are kind of, I don't know why they're kind of trying to convince Xbox fans that this isn't a real Xbox podcast, because as the last time I checked, like I said, the proof is right there. We all play the fuck out of Xbox just because we have capable PCs. If anything, it should have more credibility because I do have a very capable PC and still prefer console, still prefer Xbox. That's a real Xbox fan to me.
And I got to add to that too. We've also been an Xbox centric podcast who has been real about the brand since day one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Been criticizing and asking for more software for years.
Yeah, I've had a brand new PC I just bought right before Christmas, and I think I've only played a game like a couple hours. I did like some Battleborn with my friend one day, and then I did like a little bit of Borderlands 2. So I think I put like 3 hours of gaming on my new PC. I really use that thing to make videos and to work on graphic design, and I leave it to that because I just have so much fun on the consoles. It's just, I don't know, it's a better experience for me. But that's me.
Yeah. There's I don't know, man. It's not even worth really referencing, even though I did it a billion times. It's annoying when people get that desperate and they try to discredit other people like that. But subscribe to D-Batch in the chat there. Motherfucker's got his cup out and shit. Throw some coins in there. Click on his name, go to his channel, subscribe. Also, we got Patreon links down below for the patrons to support the show. Go follow those guys on Twitter, maybe subscribe to their YouTube channels. Great guys. Some of the most hardcore Xbox guys around. I'd like to think keep shit logical and real as well. Who didn't I get? Zalker, what have you been playing? Where can people find you, bud?
I've been playing a lot of games. I've been playing Sea of Thieves. I finished all the Tall Tales, did Arena. I fucking love that game. I put probably like 30 hours into that. I beat all of Fortune Island or whatever it's called in Forza, the expansion. I did all that shit. That shit was fun. And I'm playing Rage 2 now. I fucking love the game. Playing it since last night. And just so you guys can go look at my achievements to make sure I do have that. And everything. Yeah, I play my games. I enjoy them. I love playing them. Xbox, and yeah, I do play on PC too. I love gaming. That's what I do. Is I game. And you can find me at.
You notice he didn't mention
Zalker.
PlayStation though. He didn't mention PlayStation.
Oh, I know, because I played Days Gone and I wanted to kill myself. And so then now you can find me at Zalker87 on Twitter and Zalker87 on YouTube. I put out a Rage 2 review, and yeah.
Was it a review in just like 12 hours? How'd you do
Review
that?
impressions. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Review
okay.
impressions.
Fuckface. I was just making sure.
No problem.
Okay.
Thanks for keeping me honest, fuckface.
Yeah. Did I miss anybody else here? Did I get every D
you got it.
Batch? Did I got everyone?
Not me.
D
Make
Batch.
sure
I
to check
got Colt.
Yeah.
I got Tim.
You
I
got
got Fonz.
You didn't
Okay.
get me. I want to say what's up to Rumple Foreskin.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I've been playing Rage 2 as well. We've just run through Halo 2 again, which that game is fucking so much more epic than I remember. We've also been playing Forza Horizon 4 and, just playing actual games. It's a good time. Also, Rage 2, gotta once again implore you guys to consider, if you're on the fence, you like Mad Max, you like Doom, don't worry about it. Just pick it up. I think you will not regret it. It's a good time. The game to me looks great as well. It's a good time to play. So let us know your thoughts down below. If you missed any part of the show, that will be up when the show does post to the channel. Drop a like, drop a subscribe, maybe share this bitch somewhere. We are out.
Later, everybody.
And sign up. I signed up twice.
I signed out 3 times.